Welcome into Kickin It Ep.5. We had a little jumble up last episode where we listed it as episode 5, but it was actually episode 4, but I thought it was episode 5 on air. We've got that cleared up, and we're ready to bring you the actual episode 5, and we've got a great show lined up for you today. I'm Noah Taborda, alongside Byron Tollefson and Jake Liker, and we'll start by introducing Byron. Byron, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. It's been an interesting 2 weeks heading towards the college process, but it's good to be back during Kicking It to relax a little.
Yeah, I feel you. It's been pretty exhausting. Got my first 2 applications done. And now we go to the one person who isn't in the application process right now, Jake in Los Angeles. Jake, how's your not college application process going?
Well, I'm not applying to college, but I'm applying myself to my studies. High school is not as easy as I thought it would be, although it's not as difficult as what you guys have to go through right now. I have time for that. I've also been spending time waiting for my Mac to finally have a software update, so if there's any sound stuff going on with me, that's why. But right now we're at less than a minute remaining, so this is really, really exciting. It's tragic, but that's pretty much been the happiest thing that's happened to me all day. So yeah, rough day. Glad I can unwind here, kick back with Kicking It.
Yeah, it's been some busy few weeks, and it's been some busy few weeks in football as well. Really, really great day in the Champions League today. Real Madrid getting a win at Anfield. Borussia Dortmund finally winning a game. It seems like forever. Actually, though, we're going to have a little conversation about Dortmund later on. And yeah, Bayern Munich 7-1 against Roma. Pretty big news. So I'm pretty excited. First of all, Jake, why don't you give everybody out there the Facebook information and such?
The Facebook information and such. We are Kicking It on Facebook. So, like us.
Thank you, Jake.
And the such is up to you.
You can make a fan club. People should make a fan club. That was very deep, very intimate, Jake. Thank you.
Wait, hold on. Breaking news. My Mac has just updated. Oh, there was something else I wanted to mention. Since doing this show, I found myself becoming more dedicated to soccer. Last week, I'm not kidding, I ran from my house to the UCLA campus to catch the second half of the 14th ranked Bruins take on the then number 1 ranked Washington Huskies. We played a man down for the final 30 minutes, but it didn't matter. Final score, Bruins 2, Washington 1, and I ran back to my house at 9 o'clock. It was a very fun experience.
I heard you missed all 3 goals, though.
I did miss all 3 goals because I thought a friend might be coming with me, but that turned out they wasn't able to come with me, so I went there alone. I was kind of deciding whether or not I wanted to be a sad loner, and I said, I'll be a happy loner if we win. So I went.
And you did. We've got a lot of winners, and we've got a lot of winners that we are going to pick in a second with quick picks. But first of all, the number to call, 224-563-8444. Again, 224-563-8444. Now, quick update on the standings for quick picks. And some big news when it comes to quick picks. For the first time, we have had a perfect week in terms of predicting the winners. Byron and I both had perfect weeks. We hadn't had one up until that point, so that was surprising. Jake didn't do so hot, but you know what? He's hanging in. Not really. But it's been a tough stretch for Jake over the past few weeks. Had to make some minute decisions, split second. Didn't turn out too hot. Right now, the standings eclipsing the 50 mark. Me in first. Byron with 30 in second. Jake with 26 in third. The records. I am 28 and 17. Byron is 25 and 20, and Jake is 19 and 26. Jake is definitely going to be looking to turn it around this week. So without further ado, let's get started. Jump right into it. Bordeaux will be traveling to Parc des Princes to take on PSG. Bordeaux currently in third with 18 points. PSG also has 18 points. We'll start with you, Byron. Who do you think comes out with the victory?
I think you got to go Paris Saint-Germain. With all-around talent-wise, Paris Saint-Germain is the better side. although scheduling and everything that's happened so far, they are at the same number of points. I think PSG walks away with this one. I'm going to go 3-1.
Yeah, look, it's tough for me to say confidently that Bordeaux is going to win this game. Sure, they've done well. But this is PSG we're talking about, and when they have it going for them, they have it going. And I expect them to have it going this weekend. Coming off a narrow win against Apoel Nicosia in the Champions League, they're definitely going to be looking for a rebound game where they can really exert their dominance, and I think they do that here. I'm going 2-0 PSG. Great game for them. Jake, what do you think?
Well, again, this is an interesting battle. I didn't catch who you said PSG was going up against. Who did you say they were going against?
Bordeaux. Or Bordeaux, as Blake likes to
Well,
call it.
this is one of those big power grabs here on the line. PSG, sort of the perennial powerhouse, going up against a team that has gotten off to a great start at this point in Bordeaux. Is this game of park differences?
Yes.
Which only makes it all the more difficult for Bordeaux. I'm going to go with the final score of 2-1 PSG.
Okay. Slow but steady wins the race. Jake took a little bit on that one, but you know what? This could be his week. Let's hope so. Next up, we have debatably one of the two games of the week. Chelsea will be visiting Manchester United at Old Trafford. What a game that should be. Always great matchups between the two. Chelsea, of course, has been near perfect, just dominating thus far. 22 points already. Manchester United has 12. Chelsea, only a draw has held them back. Undefeated, though. Manchester United, of course, coming off a 2-2 draw against West Bromwich Albion, which Louis van Gaal said was their best game yet. It's going to be a great matchup, and I'll go first. I'm a Manchester United fan, so there's going to be a little bit of bias in this pick, but I really think that they can come out with this 2-2 draw. I think Di Maria is definitely the key to this. Last game, I was a bit confused how Van Gaal played it. Decided to play Falcao on the bench for much of the time. I think he came in and put a lot more pressure on the back line. Fellaini with the super sub goal, very important there. I think that they're going to have to play a similar game, especially up front. They have to put pressure. They have to hold Chelsea in their zone, and that's not easy to do. But as we know, what Mourinho specializes in is counterattacks. He is so good at a strong counterattack, especially when he was on with Real Madrid. Now with a forward like Costa, who may miss the game, even without him, Loic Remy is a speedster. It's going to be tough for Manchester United, but at Old Trafford, I think they come out with a 2-2 draw. Jake, what do you think?
At the end of the day, the final score between Manchester United and West Bromwich Albion was 2-2. This is where they have hope, though. Chelsea might be a little gassed after what they had to do in Selhurst Park against Crystal Palace, pulling out the 2-1 win. That was a 10-on-10 match for the final 30 minutes, I believe. So they could be on the tired side again. Costa not necessarily healthy at this point. There's hope, but I think it's wishful thinking for Manchester United at this point. They still have a lot to work on. The way Chelsea's playing, I have no reason to pick against them. They defeat Manchester United 3-0.
Oh, I felt that in my heart. Byron, what do you think happens here?
So I was just researching about this a little bit, and it actually says Loic Remy is going to miss this game with an injury.
Ooh.
So you take already out Costa out of the equation, then you take out Loic Remy. You're going to go with Didier Drogba. I'm assuming he's not injured right now. Yes, Noah?
Yeah, I believe he's healthy.
Okay. Well, you don't have the speedster in Remy. You don't have your top scorer in Diego Costa. Can you still beat Manchester United? Yes. Chelsea, all around, is the better team right now. They played better. And even without Costa, you put in that striker to finish off your entire attack with Eden Hazard, one of the top goal scorers in the entire or not just goal scorers, the top players in the entire British Premier League. I think Chelsea gets the win here. And Manchester United is a great team. However, it's a work in progress. I think by the end of the year, it is competing. Look at their attack. You got Robin Van Persie, you have Falcao, and then you have Wayne Rooney. However, the entirety of that Chelsea attack, I want to go with a draw here, but I feel like Chelsea's going to pull this one out 2-1.
Okay. It's going to be a great matchup this Sunday, 11 a.m. Central. Now on to another really good surprise matchup. This is between the top two teams in Germany. No, not Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund. It's Bayern Munich and Borussia Mönchengladbach, the other Borussia team. Mönchengladbach, what a great start to this year. They have just came out of the gates racing to 16 points. However, Bayern Munich still has 20 points and leads it. Jake, this has been an off-on year. Bayern at times haven't looked quite amazing, but they're coming off a 7-1 drubbing of AS Roma. Do you think they keep the momentum going?
Well, I panicked yesterday when you asked me for the quick picks and said you're going to be disqualified if you don't pick them. It was already 15 minutes into the games, and I didn't check. I didn't cheat because I picked a 1-1 draw between Bayern Munich and AS Roma. Well, now I'm not picking random numbers. I am going to pick strategic numbers, which still hasn't really worked out as well for me this year, but it's better than random. Bayern Munich is playing like the best team in Europe right now. Certainly the best team in Germany. But this day could be longer for Bayern Mönchengladbach than its name. 3-1, Bayern Munich.
Okay, now, Byron, what do you think happens here between these two German teams?
Well, you can't just thrash Roma 7-1 and then come into the next game and not expect some results. The differences between Roma and this Borussia, we'll just go with Borussia for now. That's how we're going to pronounce it. But those teams is a lot. Roma's definitely a much better team. I can't see a scenario in which Bayern Munich loses this game unless they just think they're too good and they come into the game and not expect anything. Because this other team, they're in the Bundesliga. They have 16 points right now. I don't know a lot about them, but I can tell that they're going to play hard. However, Bayern Munich gets their act together and comes in the game saying, hey, this is another test. Well, not really, but let's just play how we've always played. They're going to win this one. For the score, I'll probably get this wrong because I always get the score wrong. I usually get the results right, but not the scores. That's been my problem this year. But for the score, I'm going to go 3-0.
3-0. What's interesting is, actually touching on the point, that is kind of true, Byron. You've done quite well. You've gotten, 2 scores right? Despite having a above 500 record. You know what? You have been getting better, though. Within the last 4 weeks, you have gotten 2 scores correct. So getting better. Slowly but surely. Now my turn. Look, they're playing at Mönchengladbach, but it doesn't matter. Munich is ready. They are playing terrific. And normally German teams don't come in overconfident. That's just one of their characteristics. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I'm going 4-0 Bayern Munich. I think this team just has so much all-around talent. And as you said, Jake, I think that this team is playing like one of the best teams, if not the best team in Europe right now. So we will see how that game plays out. Now on to our next game. Probably the least important game. I mean, not to say that it's not important, but probably the least important game of the week. Villarreal at Sevilla. Sevilla, surprisingly, off to a hot start, 19 points. And we have El Clasico. There is a scenario in which Villarreal could theoretically be a